Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and the Survival Series. Alright, so we skipped to March time, so we're in the next year. I've completed the expansion that I said I was going to do in the last episode, and I've also upgraded a few of the roads, so we've kind of got this stone. Well, they look like stones, they are pretty much stones, but it's a lot better than the dirt track we've had. And I've also put in these as well, and the trees over here, these ones, have all grown to the full size now, so these are pretty much ready to chop down. There's loads of things going on, to be honest. There's a few here that I planted just after it, so probably April they'll also be the same. I've also put a bit of a track as well going up past the grass field, so I've kind of, you know, taken a bit out of the grass field. Not much, just to make a track. I think it makes sense, because I was driving over the grass field at one point, so it just makes sense to put a proper track in. I've also chopped down 3 trees here to do that. 4, sorry, can't count today. Like I said, I have upgraded the roads going around the farm, so I will just jump up and you can see that. So not up to the actual sawmill from that direction, but from the other direction I did. We will go over there in a second, but let's just have a quick look over here. So I did as well obviously make this track, but now because I used this pretty much in the last episode, I went on this route going out, but there wasn't an actual road there visibly with this these stone textures. But I thought, I'm going that way. It kind of makes more sense. It's a shorter distance to travel this way to the store when we're selling things. If we're obviously going from the grass field, we'll still carry on that way, but from here we may as well use this route now. I also just want to quickly point out, I did see a comment on my last video mentioning about these stone pines and basically question, would they grow to the full capacity? So the full size, which is, they're obviously still some way off. I think there's 2 more growth stages to go. We are very close to the next one, but not the final 3rd one where we obviously start harvesting and chopping them and making a bit of money from them. So I have tested it. So I didn't save the game, but I sped all the way through to a certain month and they did fully grow. So good news is these will get to the point where we can harvest and maximise our income from it. So that's great to see. So obviously we'll leave that just to do its thing. But let's have a quick look over here. So again, just a quick upgrade. It's just mainly the track itself. I made it so I can drive in a little bit easier with the trailer and have a bit more space. And then obviously I've got a proper paved track now coming out from that direction of this. Well, it's pretty much a plantation for sugar beets, let's be honest. But it did turn in quite a lot of money, so we are going to carry on doing that. It's a bit of a task, but we're going to carry on doing that. I didn't buy any animals, just so you know, for the sheep. We are going to do that, hopefully, in this episode. I have got some good money. I've done all the upgrades, sold quite a lot of logs still. I've got loads left to sell as well, so we should have enough money. Now, I have got a plan to do as well, which is going to pretty much mean that we need 10,000 extra just for that. And then anything on top is what we're going to use to buy animals. So everything's pretty much the same here, except obviously the track itself's upgraded from this point. So anything that was the dirt track I've changed to the stone texture. I've kept everything from that first expansion we did. So because it was like a tarmac, it's a bit like a tarmac, we've kept that just the same. And then this was the second expansion I did, and I haven't really touched this at all because it's set the way I built it, and it wasn't a dirt track. I mean, it is a dirt track area over here, but it's not too bad. So I've kept that all the same as well. But where we start seeing the new bits to the farm is obviously this was the 3rd expansion we did with the tiny little potato field that we were harvesting in the last year. But this is where it's obviously now brand new. We've got a proper track going up to the sawmill from this direction. There's a few trees that I've chopped down ready to start taking, so you can see that they're all set up in piles. And then this now is a new area, and I think this is going to be pretty cool, I have to say. Obviously, there's still some space here, a few logs as well to take. There's still a few over here to chop down, all them other ones. So we've got plenty of logs to go out if we need to. But this is what I've done. So I've put in a brand new bunker, so we could have a close. I think it'll be easier to put the grass in this from the grass field now with the track that I've put around the grass field as well, so that should be good to use. But it gives us the option of having 2 bunkers now, and this one's not a drive-through one, it's got a wall at the back, so that might be a little bit easier. I don't know what you personally prefer, but I've always preferred to have a wall at the back kind of reverse in. But yeah, we'll see. It's just a bit less mess. A lot of the time when you've got either side. You're trying to, at the end, when you're compacting, you're trying to put it all back into the pit. So hopefully now it's just one side with that. Then we've obviously got some more storage area, which hopefully will come in use. I mean, we're doing pretty good for storage area. And then again, another one over here. But then this is the main thing. This is this is the cow barn. It's an open cow barn that we spoke about in the last episode, and it holds 60 cows. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. It's gonna hopefully mean that we make a lot more money on milk. So that's just there. I've got this now, which will spawn in manure from this. So there'll be a lot of manure, hopefully, from this manure heap. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's simple. It's only four placeables and then the bunker. But yeah, I think it looks pretty spot on for the space I want to fit everything in. Originally, we were going to put another pasture here for the sheep, probably behind that area there. But we've freed up that space now because of that brilliant idea to put the sheep within the kind of the woodland area that we've got. So I'm looking forward to getting animals pretty much straight away. Hopefully we're going to get some cows. We're going to go with milkers, and we're obviously going to go with some sheep, and we're trying to make a lot of money this year from wool, and the same with milk. And then the final thing that I did is just another track. So we've got two entrances, one from the side near the sawmill direction, and then we've got this one, so you can come out of the grass field, come past the grass field, sorry, turn there, and we've got the two options. We can turn right, or we can go straight into pretty much the main area of the farm last year. That was where we were doing a lot of work. So my plan is, I've got an idea. We're going to try and start making the most from arable this time around. We've got some good fields, but they're all quite small, and when you add them up, it's a lot more work to do 3 fields like this and then a small root crop field. So we've got a crop field 2, 1 and 4, because I've called field 3 the root crop. So technically we've got 4, but they aren't very big. If we just go to this, you can see that that's 2.24, 2.36, 2.25, and then this is just really small. It's not even an acre, but it's not bad for root crops. The equipment size we've got, I think that's pretty reasonable for where we are. But what I want, and this is my plan, it's crazy, but I think we can go for it. We've got a much better harvester that we haven't actually used yet. We actually bought it after the last harvest. So I'm actually thinking of buying field 13 and doing the whole field, whole boundary as a field, and plant soybeans in. So we're going to have this massive field for soybeans. We're going to have these 3 fields as well that we'll probably put soybeans as well and just do one big soybean harvest, and then we'll have our root crop. And we'll start working again on a lot of grass work, because again, we're going to store it. If we get some extra at the end, like we did this time round, just gone, we can sell it as silage, make a bit of extra cash, come to the tail end of the year before we do our next expansion, which I think this will be the fifth expansion. I think it will. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a good idea, but it's 85,000, so we're only £10,000 off that. That could be like one trailer load of logs, and we can do that easily. We can buy it. We can even set a course play up right now. We can make our own field boundary and get it started ploughing this field boundary out. It's going to take a while because obviously our plough is tiny, but if we have course play helping us out, I think that should make it a bit just a bit more achievable in an episode. So we're going to do that right now. The first thing we're going to do is that, and then we're going to hopefully, as that's cracking on with that, we can then sell some more logs right up there at the sawmill. Gives you an idea of how much we travel uphill when going that way. I mean, it was worse coming from the other direction, but yeah, we'll go and do that. We have got the Massey to obviously do a lot of travelling now, but I did test out the Massey when I was selling some logs, and weirdly, or maybe expectedly, it did struggle getting up the hill, because the Landini, the tyres on the rear end of that Landini are so wide that it just climbs up the hill. It really just goes to show how much having that surface area when trying to go uphill it's not about the power, because the Massey's got so much more power than the Landini, but it still struggles going up the hill. But it's really fast, really mobile, great for doing things like feed mixes. Honestly, I'm chuffed to bits with this Massey. I think it's going to be probably our go-to tractor. We're going to swap out the Hurleyman jobs, what we used to do, so mainly the feed mixes and doing the carting with the water. We're going to use the John Deere for that as well. Probably still use the John Deere for mowing. We could move over to the Massey. It is a lot quicker, but we'll still probably have the same working speed as soon as we turn that mower on anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But the John Deere's still got quite a lot of use on the farm, but the Massey, yeah, it's a brilliant purchase, really is. So, like I said, let's get this started then. Let's go and try and sell an extra £10,000 worth, and even if we're just left with £500, I'm not too fussed. So let's take off running mode and also take off flight mode, and yeah, let's go and get up to this. Now, I will give you a bit of an update on the logs, I am not going to lie. Now, let me just give you a quick update on the planks. We have got so many planks. I'm telling you now, we're going to make a fortune from this. We have been stockpiling it. You can see that we've also maxed out here, and we've got another 8,800 litres waiting to come out. So that's pretty much close to 9 more pallets. Now, it's difficult for me to show you in that menu because it's not taking into account everything that's already in pallet form. But you can see here that 8,855 litres of planks at the best time would give me 12,000. So that just goes to show we're already making 12,000 just what's in storage. Never mind the 6 or whatever it was outside the spawn point, and then all the ones right in front of me right now. It's insane. It really is. We're going to make a killing. But like you've probably just seen, we are waiting for July for that. So I mean, all this stuff now is telling us the best time to sell in March. I do like how it highlights that with this mod. Brilliant mod again. Time-saving stock check. Have a look on Mod Hub if you're not using it already, because it is a brilliant mod, really useful tool, proper useful. I'm using it in pretty much all my save games now, except the Farmland series, because it's not really focused on making loads of money on that. It's more about having a story. But this itself, I think it's absolutely perfect for a save game, trying to make money, survival series. Yeah, it's spot on. So sugar beets, we can see we've already got 20,000 litres in storage. We've also got the ones on the side. We're going to wait again all the way through to next December, January time. So I think we're going to have a lot of them. Eggs I kind of missed in November, but there's not really that much anyway. We've got 4,000 litres. We could wait again till the end of the year and see if we've got quite a bit. We're looking for May time, so I don't know how we can sell in May what we've got, but from all the sheep that we're going to purchase now, we're probably going to have to wait till next May to sell. Now, milk, I did see a comment about the fact that, you know, with it being a perishable item, which I fully agree with, say it was waiting for the best time to sell it over months. It really doesn't make sense, does it? And I agree with it. So what I've done is put a mod on that basically automatically sells milk every day. So every day, no matter how much milk and the price it is, it's going to get sold. But that is also a good thing because it saves us the job of taking it to the store and selling it. We don't have to no longer do that. We're pretty much selling it every day automatically as if it was simulating collection. And you were having a tanker come to the farm and pick up your milk. So we'll use it like that. I think it's probably more in line. It's probably the best way to play. I've always had that mod. I didn't have it enabled because I thought, should I be taking it myself every day? But I think it'd just be too much of a task to take it every day. So I'm kind of compromising by using that mod. But yeah, let's get some logs sold. It's so much easier now that I've piled them up as well. And the way that loader's working, it's pretty perfect, man. It's spot on. But we really just need to try and get 10,000 as quick as possible so we can go and get, well, we can go and get this field. And then we can start doing the boundary and getting the... I'll probably use the... I'm just trying to think what tractor's best to use for the plough, but it doesn't really matter. It's not the biggest plough in the world anyway. But yeah, we need to just try and get this sorted out so we can go and at least start it off. Now this is probably the most easiest way I've ever figured out to pick up logs. It is easy. It really is. There we go. Drop them in. Just as simple as that. Now this might be a bit of a challenge because that one's quite a hefty log there, but we'll give it a go. They're not all the same size as well. I kind of eyeballed where I was chopping from, but I think it'll be alright. There we go, it's picked it up anyway. Bit heavy on that front end. It's just about doing it, so I'm hoping this will bring in... When you usually take the logs like this size, this is that log there at the bottom, that is from a tree that's completely fully grown. So hopefully the ones that we've got all the way up by the entrance, that's what they're going to look like. So usually when I take some logs like that, I'm getting close to like 12,000, sometimes maybe 14, but I am taking now some smaller ones. So I'm gonna make a guess that we're going to hit 11,000 on this, depending on how much wood is selling currently. It doesn't fluctuate too much. It's only small amounts each time that it changes on, so We should hit that. Fingers crossed. We'll just put this last load in and then we should be good to go. Perfect. Just as simple as that. So, let's go straight away. Landini every time now. We're still going to keep using this because, like I said, it absolutely flies up there. It really does. So we have got these 2 piles there, that 1 pile remaining over there, and we've got the 4 trees that we chopped down. So I'm hoping that's going to give us enough money to get some animals. Now I do want to probably get about maybe 10 cows and get them right at 18 months old. So they do start producing milk, and then from that milk income that we get every month, I'm going to use that to purchase more cows. I think that's the best way to do it. Maybe until I get to about 30, and then the next slot of 30 that's free, we can wait for the cows to breed probably. Or if we want to just make more money, we can, you know, it's just about the income, finding what to spend on it. But I think if we use the milk to buy the animals, hey, look at that, 12,000, spot on. So we are actually at the 85,000 mark now, so we can go ahead and do that. Right, so here we are at the field. Let's get this done. It is going to be a big field. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to clear out some trees, probably, but we'll have a look around first at the boundary. But obviously the first thing we need to do is purchase field 13. So there you go, £85,000. Let's buy it. Job done. £2,000 left, which isn't amazing, but it is what it is. Now, we're going to have to keep in mind that it's not going to be as straightforward, this is going to the boundary, just because of where the trees are. But we could start here. I'm hoping we don't get too much in regards to stones, but we can see that we've got quite a lot of large stones already. But then again, we can make lime from it. We just have to collect it up. It might be a bit of a task, but we might have to then finally purchase a stone collector, I'd probably say. But yeah, this is going to be a big job. It really is. For this course play that's eventually going to do this, you know what I should have probably started doing? Just realised is probably recording this. And again, we might want to do it after. It just depends how precise we get with the boundary. I am trying to look at the map and figure out when to directly turn up. I think that should be alright if we go from here. We could probably go on a little bit more to the left, but I mean, it's already probably going to be one of the biggest fields, if not, even if we just ended now, it'd be the biggest field. So yeah, I've got a feeling we're going to go uphill as well, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the harvester, because look, we're halfway up. We're literally halfway now across this field. This is going to be interesting. I am looking forward to see this when that soybeans is growing. It's going to be a task and a half. That was very strange. The tractor just stopped on its own. It's like, I'm not going uphill. How weird's that? Oh, I know why. We're at 50%, so we do need to repair this vehicle. We did buy it in a second-hand state, so it's obviously got to the point where it needs to be repaired. It shouldn't be too bad, but we are now officially going uphill. And the trees that you can see do need removing, but we'll quickly do that after we set this course play up. I am going to go all the way. So we're getting very close. So what we can probably do is just make ourselves a nice smooth turning. It doesn't have to be a proper square field. It's going to be big enough as it is, but I think this is the only way we're going to start making some serious cash from arable. I've gone a bit short there, haven't I? Could have gone a little bit more to the left. It'll be alright. Yeah, this is the only way we're going to make serious money from arable, by having a massive field. Because we're on hard difficulty, the price we get is not very good, let's be honest. And I've gone for soybeans because I think that's probably the best way to make money from arable as well. You get a good return, but again, you need to do a lot just to get that kind of return, whereas this should turn in a lot. It really should. I mean, we're going to have to probably... We could go through this and then remove the trees. There is nothing stopping us from doing that. But... yeah, let's do it. Why not? We'll remove some of these trees and make a proper field and have some of the trees on the side. But my god, this field's massive. It really is. Right, so what I'll quickly do now, because obviously this is going to be quite a task, I will finish off, I'll get the boundary done, and I will set the course up, and I'll jump back in when I've removed the trees, and also, yeah, the guy is working his socks off to try and get this boundary all sorted out for us. Right, so welcome back. I have sorted out all the trees, and I've moved out the logs that are like worth trying to chop up and sell. There's only like 3 of them anyway. The rest were just the small ones, so I've kind of just got rid of them completely. But that's all sorted out, and the guy's in the field right now working his socks off to get that field ploughed up. It is going to be a pretty decent sized field by the end. But in the meantime, what I've done is also sold all the remaining logs that I had by the new expansion area, so that was left, and it's left me with about 16,500. Now, I am consuming some of that money, obviously with me using Courseplay, so we do need to keep that in mind. But I do now want to purchase some sheep and some cows. Now, ideally, what we'd be doing at some point is moving all the sheep in this area over to this pasture, because they're at a good age and they're going to start reproducing. Right now they're maxed out, so like even this one that's 20 months old, 25, 22, I mean... yeah, I mean, there's a 43-month-old there. They're all ready to reproduce. They just can't hit that next point because of where they are. So we could move them over. We really could move them over. But I'm going to have to buy an animal trailer to do that. So it is something we will get to. But right now, what we're going to do is purchase ourselves probably fully grown. And we're going to go with... let's go with this kind. We'll get 10 of them. They are at 8 months old, so the animal's reached its breeding age, basically. So if we buy 10 of them for 5,000, we can have a quick look now. Look at that. So I did put water in this already, so that's spot on. But you look at that. Happy as Larry, aren't they? Just plodding around, walking through trees as you do. And yeah, we can have up to 100 in here. So plenty of room for them to carry on breeding. Now I have brought 2 hay bales over here. We're going to just quickly drop these in, and then we'll have pretty much everything then. So we just leave them there like that. That should just keep them happy for a little bit. Spot on. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at our new selection, our open range sheep pasture. You can see that we've got full on water, full on feed. I mean, that's only 1,500 water. This one holds probably about the same, actually. Yeah, exactly the same. So we will have to keep an eye on this, especially if we get to 100, because they're going to consume. Probably it might be that we feed that every day to top that up. But look at that. Look how good that looks. Just sheep roaming around. I do like it. It's a great idea. Right, so let's move over to the cow pasture now. We're going to try and buy... I was hoping to buy 10, but we do need to keep some money over for the courseplay that's going on. So if we get 5, I think that's not a bad start. We obviously do need to get to 60, but we're not in a rush to get there. I'd rather breed from maybe like 30 onwards, so we can use the income from milk. I have got the 4 trees that I chopped down when doing the grass fields track, so we could use them. And then the ones that I've just created, the 3 from obviously the field that we're creating a new field boundary in, we can use them, and from that we could probably buy some more cows, and then obviously everything we bring in from milk we can then use as well to get us to about 30, and then we'll just let them breed to get to 60 just to save on spending any more money. Now I do want a bale spike for this, because what we're going to do next is make a cow feed mix as well for the cows that we do obviously buy now for the new pasture. Now I did put a bit of feed in there, so I'm hoping we don't need much else. I did do a feed mix And I thought, right, well, I'll put some of this mix now straight in, and it could be that they've got plenty anyway that we don't need to do this, but just in case, we'll take a bale spike and be ready at least. Now, I did try and use the John Deere to get onto the feed mixer, but it doesn't actually link up. It's too high up, so what happens is the PTO just drags on the floor, so we can't actually use the John Deere for the feed mix, which means we're probably going to have to use the Massey. With that being out in the field, we're going to use the Landini. Now, Landini is probably not ideal with the size tyres to do a feed mix, but it is what it is. We'll just work with it for now. Right, so here we are. We're going to need in here now. Oh, I do want to get them, but I mean, 18 months is a long time to wait to get milk. It probably makes sense to... I mean, how much would that be? 16,000. We can't even afford that. So how much will 5 be? 8,000. We can do that. We've left ourselves with enough money there. I can probably do a bit of logs as well to try and tie me over for Corsair, because it's a massive job. But we've got 5 cows, and that's the main thing. Now, let's just have a quick look in here. We can see that we've got 5 Holstein. They're about halfway, so they're not desperate for a feed mix, but we can do one at some point. But really what we want to be doing is adding straw, something that we've not been able to do. We can actually get slurry now, straw, and we will get manure. So let's go and get some straw bales, put it into the feed mixer, and see if we can use that to obviously give them some straw. I'm hoping we can, because if not, we're going to have to buy a straw blower. So that's something that I didn't actually think about. Sometimes you can get the pastures that accept just the bales, so if you just drop the bale, but it's not common. It's usually quite rare that happens, but sometimes you can just put them into a feed mix and then it will also accept that. So let's see if we're lucky enough for that. And let's go and take this, and fingers crossed this works. I am hopeful. Or else we're stuck. It means we're going to have to buy a straw blower. And they're not cheap. We can afford one by doing more logging, and we've got plenty of trees. That's the good thing that we planted them. That first load of spruce that we did, it's now ready, so we've always got that just in case. But ideally, I want to try and do a little bit less logging in this year. But we will still focus on... Yeah, we do need probably a straw blower, don't we? Looks like it. So, that's interesting. Unless we try and drive in. What if we try and drive in? I think that might work. There we go. There we go. See, now that worked. So we should start seeing, there you go, some texture. So the straw bedding is in, and eventually over time that will start spawning in manure over there, which we can use for the sugar beets, anything we want to grow in the greenhouse. We can even put it as fertilizer on the ground, but then we're going to need to buy a muck spreader. But it's nice to have the option. That's the main thing. It's that with slurry as well. It's good to have the options. We may as well go back out this way. There we go. Bit of a delay on that. So, well, I think we've used all the bales, but let's just have a quick look just to see how many. Yeah, we're about halfway, so we'll do another feed mix and we'll do some more straw bales, but I will do that in between the episodes. At least we set them up. They've got feed, they've got a bit of bedding, and they're pretty much just all good now. So it's good to see, because I wanted to get a proper cow barn on this survival series for a while, and we finally got one. How good is that? Job done. Right, let's go and part this up. We may as well keep it down here, because we could move some of the feed mix stuff. I mean, we have got all the hay and straw bales over there, but we may as well just put it here for a bit. We've got plenty of parking space now. It's just, I think it looks a bit bare, so why not just try and put something here for the meantime. If we do get ourselves like a slurry spreader and a muck spreader, we can always store it down here. Anything along the lines of animals. Probably the animal trailer as well can be stored down here. So Yeah, we'll try and focus on having the animal stuff over here. But let's quickly just go and have a look at the field and just see how he's getting on. I'll be surprised if he's made even a dent, because it is a mammoth of a job. It really is. Right, so we're here. Weirdly, all them trees are actually chopped down, but you can actually see them. But I promise you, if we get close, they will vanish. Maybe the map needs to update on that, as I probably jump out and jump back in again. But look at him. He's done absolutely nothing. Let's be honest, he's done nothing. This field is going to be huge. Now, we can have a quick look. I just want to prove that these are going to disappear when we get close to them. Because I definitely got rid of them. You can see him popping away now. There you go. So, I mean, we need to spare a thought. Everyone does need to spare a thought for this guy doing this job, because it's insane. I mean, also spare a thought for the job we're going to need to do when we collect the stones as well, because that's going to be real fun. But look at that for a course. It's insane. 2 meter it is. 2 meter plough, and we are running a 16.3 acre field. In comparison, our grass field, which I thought was big, is 5.7. That's 1 acre, so it's like having 16 of them, and this is 2 acres. So our next biggest crop field is pretty much, I'd say, yeah, it's crop field 1, so 2.36. But when we're harvesting it and selling all the soybeans, I'll be grateful then. But in the meantime, it's a massive job. But I promise you, by the start of the next episode, this field will be all ploughed. We'll have a lot of stones. That's something we're going to have to tackle. But if we do just quickly have a look at the calendar, we can see that soybeans are in April. So we've got 3 days in this month. We're already at day 1. So we've got 2 full days left to do and get it all sorted, ready to start planting the soybeans in all the other fields as well. So we're probably not going to mulch. In fact, we could mulch, because someone kindly said in the comment section that we can convert the mower into a mulcher. So we could do mulching, in fact, and then just direct basically seed into all 4 fields now. And we'll have a look as well at potatoes again, because we can do potatoes in April. So we can try and plant everything in April. We may as well do some more potatoes, because we could even do sugar beets, to be honest. We may as well, actually. Yeah, we'll do sugar beets to add to the other ones. So pretty much in April, we'll be planting, again, a lot of stuff. Going to be doing grass work again, looking after the cows, making more cows. We've got planks to sell in June time, so we're going to get a big influx in cash then. And like I said, just keep chipping away at the animals. And I think, honestly, I do think that this year we're going to make the most money we've ever done, just like we did in the last year. So hopefully the 5th or 6th expansion, I've lost track, will be even better. But I think that's a perfect point for me to end the episode on. So thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, because it does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.